Okay, we are now joined by tonight's winner of the Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway and driver of the number 88 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet, Shane Van Gisbergen. Shane, congrats on the win. With this victory, you become just the second driver since Jeff Gordon 25 years ago to win 5 straight road course races. Just speak a bit about that sentiment and then ultimately how you pulled off the win earlier today.
Yeah, thank you. Amazing day. Car was just unbelievable. Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job making some tweaks from yesterday, and first 2 stages it was, pretty nice balance and able to make some gaps, and then started that 3rd stage. Kyle and Christopher were really good, and I lost the lead, lost control of the race, and just couldn't match them really. They were a bit better than me, and then whatever we did or whatever Stephen did at the pit stop, car just came alive, and yeah, the last 2 stints were just magic. Just ran them down and able to pass them and had some really good battles, pretty aggressive, but a lot of fun too.
All right, we'll begin opening up with questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll begin with Mike up here in the front, then we'll go to John and then Trenton.
Mike Henry, Auto Week. Shane, those skirmishes you had there with Larson, how concerned were you about possible fender damage, tire damage, whatever? Was that close at all?
No, it all felt fine, but yeah, I gave him a little bump entry to 7. I thought he was going to give me some space, and he didn't, and I couldn't back out of it. And then straight away it was like a switch flipped, and he was angry, and he swiped at me, but probably fair enough. And then it was pretty aggressive from there on, but tried to stand my ground, and then he kind of pushed me off a couple of times, and yeah, I thought it was good, hard racing. And then once I got back to him, I think he kind of just gave me the spot.
We'll go to line here. We'll go to Trenton, then John, and then we'll go to Chris over here on the side.
Trent Warson from FrenchStretch.com. Shane, along those lines, similarly, I asked Larson about that battle, and he said you were just so much faster than everybody, and that he said what a lot of people think, that you're out there toying with the field when you're not out there leading the field by like 20 seconds or whatever. And so how good was the car at that point? Through the day and stuff, and the adjustments you had to make, and just how even though you win these races, it is a challenge for you at times, and you're not just toying with the field in those moments.
Yeah, especially the start of stage 3, I didn't feel like I was toying with them. I felt like I was struggling, and we didn't have the pace. They kind of drove away from me. So, but yeah, every other stint and every other set of tyres, I felt like we were fine. So, not sure if we made a bad adjustment or bad set of tyres, whatever it was. But yeah, once the next tyres came on, I drove out of the pits. I'm like, I'm back on again. Away we went.
Go John next.
John Newby, Savage Ventures. I have 2 quick questions for you. So first off, with the advantage that you had crossing the finish line, had you already made it back to the garage before everyone else finished?
I sort of was watching the big screen trying to see how Ross was going. I saw most of the last stint they were focused on him, so I was just hoping Ross went through. And then as I was going through NASCAR 1 and 2, I saw smoke and cars spinning and wondered what was going on. So I was a bit of a race fan for the last 10 laps or so, trying to see what was happening on the big screen, and that took my mind, hoping a caution wasn't going to come out. I was trying to just watch the race.
And then on an actual serious note, I asked Justin about kind of like benchmarks for you after Richmond, New Hampshire, last week at Kansas, and he said it's not a benchmark situation anymore. It's more of just he believes she'll be very dangerous as long as you keep immersing yourself with Steven, with film study, all that different stuff. So where does that process go from here, heading towards the end of the season and into the off season?
Yeah, I think it's still just time. I feel like every race weekend I'm learning something, even on a road course, but these next 3 weeks are such a contrast of track. Like all 3 tracks are very different from each other. So that's the hard part, where you got to transition from the 1.5 miles to the short track or super speedway. It's going to be a pretty crazy finish to the year. But yeah, I need to be better at all disciplines of what NASCAR Cup racing is. That'll help us do better in the playoffs next year. And yeah, I really think we are getting a lot better, but we needed to execute, and we didn't in the playoffs. But yeah, I think my learning curve is still pretty steep, and I feel like as a driver I'm getting more comfortable and understanding the car dynamics, the setup every week. And yeah, I feel like I'm always learning. So yeah, as long as that doesn't stop, I'll keep getting better.
Let's get a mic over here to Chris on the side, and then we'll go back over here to Claire and then to Barry.
Weaver with Fox 8 WGHP High Point. Shane, the race wasn't easy. You talked about that in one of your other answers. How important is it to you to have a little adversity like that so that you have to kind of learn things about racing these other guys like Kyle and Christopher? And does that kind of adversity apply to when you go to an oval and try to run closer to the front?
Yeah, like you always enjoy a battle, but you also want to win by half a minute as well, But yeah, I was having fun in that battle, and, especially it was frustrating at the start of the last stage when they passed me, but it's still enjoyable. And then, trying to understand how to be better, and I was trying to study them, see what they were doing better to me. So, yeah, battling like that is a lot of fun, but you also want to win easily too.
Also, a lot of times when we all post these stories online, here, there, and everywhere, we get a lot of comments and remarks from your fans around the world, fans down in New Zealand and Australia. Do you pay attention to any of that in your perusal of social media or the internet, and what do you think about all of that?
Yeah, of course. It's amazing, the support. As I say, like how much people follow me over here and watch every Monday it is there, and it's amazing, the comments and support I get. And even when I've had a bad weekend, the messages are pretty cool. And yeah, I love how much people are following NASCAR now, and also, it's all kinds of disciplines around the world in motorsport. The Kiwis seem to support anyone who goes overseas. So yeah, hopefully I'm doing a good job representing the country, and it's amazing how many people in the stands and go to the merch signings that are from Australia and New Zealand coming to watch the races. So pretty cool to have them here.
Go to Claire next, and then go off to the side of Barry.
Congratulations, by the way. When you were racing Larson, and Larson said for a bit there he thought maybe he was going to get it. What did he do right? Like, how was it racing him? How difficult was he to race? What did he do right? And he was a little aggressive there.
I think he was just really strong at the start, and the 20 was as well, but maybe my car was just weak. I struggled, and then I think it was AJ in the 16 started attacking me, so I think we were just weak at that stage. But yeah, they do very well. You can see when you drive them, they have good awareness, good car placement, and yeah, they're exceptional race drivers. They're really sharp people, and and then I guess when I got to him at the end there, he kind of gave up and just said, all right, it's time to go. And then, they came up with another strategy just in case the yellow come out. So yeah, the races here there's always something happening, but I like racing the top guys here. They're very, very good.
And so when you lost the lead and he was thinking, maybe I have a chance, was there a moment you thought, maybe I'm not going to get this? Or were you like, hey, I got it, just got to be patient?
Yeah, I said that the other day. Those two were going to be the fastest guys. And yeah, when they drove away from me at the start of that stage, I thought, it's just like last year when I lost the lead. The 20 and the 5 drove away into the sunset. So yeah, it was a cool feeling when I sort of matched them at the end. And then, as I said, as soon as I got the second set of tyres on in that last stage, I was like, okay, there was something wrong in the last one, and then just drove back to them, which was a pretty cool feeling as well.
We'll hit Barry here, and then we'll come up to the front of Alex.
Yes, Barry Richmond, WAKG Mod Broadcasting Corporation. Shane, as you were talking about the different tracks that are coming up and gaining ground, what track do you feel like, style-wise, that you are gaining ground on? Short track, intermediate, super speedway, and then also your critique of this year, expectations, the good, the bad.
Oh yeah, I think all tracks are difficult, like Vegas next week, going there and having to hold it wide open at 320 and 190 probably, whatever miles that is. It's a crazy feeling and something I'm not comfortable with. Like, it's so fast when you hook into those corners there, and then when you do it in the race around other cars, it's just, that's where I'm learning, trying to get comfortable, know where to place the car in the air, and try and understand what's happening. So it's just taking time. And Martinsville short tracks, they're getting better for me, and finally starting to get results at them too. And Martinsville, I think I did a decent result last year, and hopefully we just build on that. We had a bit of a shocker at the start of the year with wheels falling off, literally. So hopefully we can be better.
And your critique of this year so far,
Yep.
felt good, bad?
Yeah, I think it's a two sort of stories. The road courses obviously have been amazing, and then the ovals, I started the year in the 30s, genuinely, which is very average, but I feel like we've grounded out, and yeah, now we're a 15th to 10th place car on most weeks, and yeah, I think how much better we've gotten is, yeah, a pretty awesome feeling. But certainly those first 10 weeks of the year was eye-opening, yeah.
Go ahead, Alex.
Alex Zetlow with the Charlotte Observer. Shane, what does it mean to you to be in the company after winning 5 straight road course races? What does it mean to you? How do you absorb the fact that you're in the same company as Jeff Gordon and other NASCAR legends like that?
Yeah, I never care about that stuff, to be honest. It's might be a weird thing to say, but yeah, I just try and do my best. But yeah, when I retire, I guess I'll look at that stuff and be pretty stoked. But at the moment, I just want to keep doing the best I can and try and add to that stuff.
Any other questions for Shane tonight? Let's go to Deb right here in the front.
Deb Williams, Auto Week. Congratulations, Shane. What exactly was the problem you felt with your tire? Because Steve said he wasn't concerned about it, but what did it feel like to you there?
I just felt like I had no grip. I turned the wheel and it's just lazy, and the front tires wouldn't bite. And then out of 7, I was just slipping the tire, and it was a high tire wear track. And as soon as you started slipping, it would just be a losing battle. Your tires would just drop off. So right from the first lap, I just couldn't get the tires to grip up. So yeah, I just don't understand. And then on that first lap out, as I said, the car was back on rails. So something definitely was different and put us back a bit.
Thank you.
We'll wrap all the way in the back over there with Zach in the corner. Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Shane, the tires this weekend, obviously it threw everything for a loop yesterday with just how much slower it was compared to last year, and then the fall off on top of that. What was your perspective? How much did that change what you had to do behind the wheel?
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock. I think our outright pace was 2 seconds slower than last year, and then you'd fall off another 4 seconds off what we did last year. So that was a big surprise. I don't think anyone expected that. And yeah, as a driver, you want to be flat out the whole time and pushing hard, but also those races create mixed strategies and different pit cycles and stuff. So probably more interesting as a fan and seeing people come and go and a lot more passing. So yeah, I'm all for whatever makes better racing. It's frustrating having to drive and save the tire the whole time, but if it makes good racing, I'm all for that.
Well, Shane, appreciate you coming in tonight, and congrats on another win.
Thank you.